Hey, what's up guys? Today we'll be looking at the LG Nexus 4 and the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. So here's the Nexus 4. It's pretty much on T-Mobile's network. That's what carrier I have it activated on. And as you guys know, it has a quad-core processor, 720p display, Android 4.2, pretty much all the goodies there. But the main thing is the design and the hardware is different from the Galaxy Nexus. Now both have Android 4.2, they run in the same software. The only difference is pretty much the hardware, so it's pretty much your choice. So basically the design of the phone is very sleek and it does resemble the Galaxy Nexus very well. As you can see here, right here, you can see that it does sort of have the same curvature look, even though the LG Nexus 4 isn't curved anymore. It still does sort of have a little curved look to it. But it's still a very nice phone. It still has a very soft touch display, edge to edge, very nice. And the only thing different here from the Galaxy Nexus is obviously the curve of the design, and also this is Gorilla Glass 2 on the back and the front. And it also does have a 8 megapixel camera instead of the 5 megapixel camera on the Galaxy Nexus. Now, what I have noticed is that this phone is really solid to hold, and the Galaxy Nexus, even though it is solid to hold, it does feel a little cheaper. And even though the Nexus 4 is made out of all glass, I still prefer it than all the plastic on the Galaxy Nexus. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Galaxy Nexus now. Alright, so here's the Galaxy Nexus, and I actually do have the Sprint variant, as you can see right there, but that doesn't really matter because it's pretty much the same device. Now this is the LTE variant, obviously, but we're not going to be testing out LTE today. So basically, everything is still the same. It still is Android 4.2, but this does have sort of a different display front. Now on the LG Nexus 4, it actually does have sort of this silver ribbon that goes around the total edge of the device. Now this does not have that. It's pretty much just a clean slate device, and on the sides you can see here that it's just sort of like a really nice plastic actually. It doesn't really feel cheap in the hand, but it is still plastic. And this back here is sort of a zippy back, I guess I would describe that, sort of grippy, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Now you can remove the battery on this, you can take off the back plate. Now on the LG Nexus 4 you cannot do that. But otherwise the design is pretty similar. Right, so here we have the LG Nexus 4 on the left and the Samsung Galaxy Nexus on the right. And as you can see, the picture on the right looks a lot more higher contrast than the one on the left. And that is because this is using Super AMOLED. Now, this is really personal preference. They're pretty much the same resolution, but what I have noticed is that the IPS display on the LG Nexus 4 is a lot sharper than the Galaxy Nexus's display. Now, on the Galaxy Nexus, pretty sure there's pentile technology in there, so you can see pixelization. I cannot see pixelization on the LG Nexus 4. So right now I'm on Wi-Fi. I pay for 55 down and 5 up, so let's see what we get. Alright, so here we go. Go ahead and begin the test. Get the ping there, almost instantaneous. Looks like the Galaxy Nexus is a little far behind with the Nexus 4 speed, but this doesn't really compare the speeds very well. It doesn't really matter with the Wi-Fi speeds, you're still going to get the same out of it. This is obviously just a speed test. But yeah, the Nexus 4 obviously wins there within connectivity to my Wi-Fi. Alright, so now let's run a quadrant standard benchmark. Alright, so both devices are finished. Let's go ahead and see the results. Now obviously these benchmarks don't really count against anything, so please don't think that this will change your option of devices. This really doesn't matter, I just do it for purposes. Alright, so as you can see, our device on the Galaxy Nexus earned a 2,139, and on the LG Nexus 4 we got a 4,759. So obviously you can totally compare dual core to quad core performance here. So it's really what you want, but obviously these benchmarks don't really matter, but obviously you can see just how much a quad core can make a difference between a dual core. Now call quality has been pretty good on both devices. I really do have to give it to the Nexus 4 though. The speaker is just a lot more clearer and louder, but the Galaxy Nexus really is a great device for making phone calls because of the curved design. It actually does hug your ear very well, and I found it very enjoyable to make phone calls with the Galaxy Nexus. But the Nexus 4 does offer way better sound clarity. So basically between speed, performance, and overall design, I have to give it to the Nexus 4. Now the Galaxy Nexus is of course a year old, but it's still a great phone. I highly recommend it. With Android 4.2, it really doesn't lag that far behind the Nexus 4. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you all later.